What have been some of your daily life changes since that moment? You told us about that beautiful meditation. Have there been other things? Obviously, looking at the birds with the sun. What else has changed daily for you, I wonder?
Well, a bit of humility.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
first of all, um, I look at people now who are old or who have a disability, and I understand them on a much deeper level. I have much greater empathy for people, not just with a disability, but people who've lost their job, who are poor, who have no control over their lives. I have greater empathy for them because in the months afterwards, I had no control over my body. I couldn't walk. I still walk in a very kind of wonky way, right? I was dependent on other people. I was dependent on my wife. I was dependent on health caregivers, on therapists, etc. And that feeling of dependence is not something I like because I like somebody who really values independence. So I had to deal with myself. I had to get over my kind of radical individualism, my radical sense of being totally independent because I was dependent on other people. And I really could empathize with others who have that feeling of dependency. It's not a good feeling. You have to learn to accept it in some way, and it's not easy. And so I learned that there were some negative qualities that I had to confront, like my impatience. Yeah, whenever I had a problem or a health issue, I would push past it, man. Okay, I broke my leg. Well, I'm going to do therapy, so in 2 months I'm going to be out, and I did it. Right? It doesn't work for this. You can't push past my brain was damaged. I can't push past it. I have to accept it, and that's not easy for someone who's used to just pushing past things like that. So I had to deal with qualities that aren't really to me very good. Like, I think patience is a good thing. I think it's a virtue, and I think it's positive. And being able to accept certain things you can't control. So I had to learn certain things about myself. I had to learn that some of the ideas I had were intellectual, where I do have empathy for people, but it wasn't as visceral as it is now, you know? And then on a day-to-day basis, I've had to control my impatience. And my wife can attest, I often lose it. So I'm no saint, and I don't pretend to be. There'll be days where I'm like, God damn it, I can't pick up my toothbrush. It's driving me crazy. Other days, it's like, come on, it's okay. Calm yourself down. Things are okay, right? Everything's going to be all right. So I've had to deal with my own issues on a very visceral, real level and deal with them in a way I've never had to do before. So it's an ongoing process.
Yeah, that's such a special answer. Thank you for sharing that. Like, to get into your head with what it feels like, and humility is such a incredible quality and the hardest to learn and the most painful to go through. And I remember when we were talking about sickness and health, and I as young monks, one of our duties or roles would be to take elderly monks to the hospital when they had to get checked. And it was part of that routine to make you see that, because we were like 21 years old and thought we were superhuman because
Yeah.
because we were like, sleep, who needs to sleep? Like,
Right.
eat food, who needs food? Like,
Right.
and you thought so highly of yourself, only to realize that you were just lucky because of your age. It was just the age of the body that you were winning on. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't that you were more self-mastered or disciplined. And being humbled in that way was such a, to witness what you're saying. Like, all of these things have been hidden in society. They're invisible.
Yeah,
And when pain becomes invisible, we become worse at dealing with it because
exactly. That's so
we become
true.
immune to it. We never see it. So how do we know how to deal with it? And so I'm grateful that you're sharing so authentically your pain and what you're going through, because it'd be very easy for you to say, "Oh yeah, I'm just living all my messages," and
No, I'm
this,
not.
all of us fail to live our own, like, as in, it's not fail, it's just hard. Like,
Yeah.
I think about it